Hello everyone, how are you today? It's Sharon here from the blog I Restore Stuff, ready to do a DIY live here on Essential Stencils page. And let me know when you are watching, where you're tuning in from, all over the USA. I'm from Australia, if you couldn't already tell by my accent. But hi Joyce Ann, how are you? Thank you so much for jumping on. And if you are watching the replay, you can let us know, comment the word replay. Now, we have some changes in our giveaways. So our giveaways will be $20 Essential Stencil gift vouchers. So you get to spend it on whatever stencils or products you like, which is going to be so much fun. So join in the conversation. We'll be picking some winners at the end. And stay tuned, stay right to the end, because we want to, and please feel free to share the live. We'd love it when you sprinkle our lives. Hi Cheryl, Amy's here, Elisa, Diana, hello, how are you today? It is almost Christmas. Thank you, Dominica. Merry Christmas to you all too. Hi Chris. All right, so Essential Stencil has extended our Stencil of the Month Club until Friday. So usually it's just a week from the 14th to the 20th of December, but we are now, are we at the 21st yet? Well, it is the 20th. Actually, it is the 20th there. It's the 21st here in Australia, so it confused me a little. So we are on the last day of the Stencil of the Month Club normally, but they have extended it till Friday, so you've got till then, and you'll see, hopefully you'll see another couple of ambassadors demonstrating the Stencil of the Month Club. If you missed my live last week, I did use the premium set of the Stencil of the Month Club set. Now don't forget to use code IRESTORESTUFF and you can get your basic plan, a free month in the basic plan, or 50% off the first month in the premium plan. And all of the different subscription deals that you can get are over on stencilofthemonthclub.com, and you can find that all there. So let me go through what's in our Stencil of the Month Club, and this is for January, so it is Easter themed, but as we know, the crafters in the crafting world need to be ahead of the game because you need to get your things ready for crafting. So it's a layered set, which is brilliant for layering your, sorry, I'm just going to check on my live over here on my Facebook page, just make sure I can see you all. Layering is great. It really makes it helpful. Instead of taping different sections of the stencil, you can layer it, and you'll see that as I demonstrate today, because I'm going to do a demo using the basic plan, which is a little smaller version, and I want to demo the add-on. This is the add-on, the Every Bunny Welcome with a bow and a basket, and the basket has a bonus of a little cane feature that goes onto the basket, so I'll do that today also. So here is our set, the premium set. It comes with these words, so you've got 3 different sayings there that you can use on a sign alone by itself or combine them with the bunny on some different things. So that's the first sheet. Now every Stencil of the Month Club set comes with 3 sheets. This is the premium plan. 3 sheets of stencils. So I'll look at this one first because this is your main bunny, and then we've got all the additional add-ons to the bunny over here. And it will all make sense if I just hold up the black sheet here. So we've got the bunny, so you do your first layer first, and you'll notice it's etched down underneath here. It says layer 1. I don't know if you can see that. I'll have to hold it in a certain light so you can see the etching. It says layer 1, and then layer 2, I have to hold that this way, ready? Layer 2 is you'll fill in these features here, and you'll see this if you go back, scroll back Essential Stencils page, or just look at the tab of the video section. You'll be able to see last week's where I did all of these. You have different options, so there's 3 there and 4th, so 4 different options for the bunny's face, which is very cute. So that's the second sheet. I'll just hold that up again while I show you. Then layer 3, so the third layer, it'll say it down here in the etching, layer 3 is the Easter egg and the whiskers. So you'll do your whiskers a dark colour, black or something, and then you'll do your egg in whatever colour you want for the background of the egg. You could leave it plain if you wanted to, or you could use one of these 3 different spots for the egg. So once you've got the egg on here, you can layer the spots or the stripes or the, what is it, stars over the top. Or you could have your bunny holding a carrot Whoops, where are we? I'm back to front and sideways, flipped around. Okay, so there we go, carrot. Or you could have it wearing a little bow or a tie. And these down here, where my finger is poking a hole through, that is the hands for the rabbit, and they will sit right over. So this is actually layer 5, it'll say on the etching. And there's a little outline of its feet right here. So you line up the feet right here and you put the hands. Now you do the hands after you've done your egg or the carrot, so that it looks like the bunny's holding the carrot. Okay, so you got that. I don't know where I've put my I should have got the one I did from last week to show you, but it's up there. And if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club already, you might have seen that from last week. So that's the premium set. So we will be looking at the add-on today and also the basic plan. Now I'm going to be using, this is just an upcycled frame, picture frame that I created, this faux textured sort of finish for the frame, and it's still got its glass in it, but I pulled out the back. Now when I'm finding frames at the thrift store, I like to find these ones with a strong, sturdy, not just cardboard, it has to be a strong, sturdy, like an MDF background. So check your backs of your frames for something like that. Then you can just paint that. You can either leave the glass in or take it out, and then you can paint your design or stencil your new sign on that. So I'll set the frame aside. Just want to make sure I can see my live coming across here so I can check that out and see your comments coming alongside here. Okie dokie. There we go. All right, so our basic plan makes it more affordable for some people, but there are some people who like to get both because it's kind of a smaller version of the premium plan. So this is stencilofthemonthclub.com. If you're just joining, yes, Joyce Ann's saying you've got to love the layers plus the etching that guides you through it. It's just like a really simple step-by-step process. So even the basic plan, Bunny, has layers. So we've got here layer 1. I don't know if you can see that, but it says the etching right here on the side, layer 1. So that's the first layer. The second layer will say layer 2. So these bunnies, if you're trying to center them on your page, you'll notice it's a little bit off center, and that's because they wanted to put the layering titling, the etching on the side there. So this one you'll see around the outline. See that etching around the outside of the features of the bunny? They will go on top like that, and so they'll all line up like that. And there goes the puppy. Someone's at the door, so she's a bit excited by that. Someone's getting it, it's okay. The whole family's here today, so yes, they are so cute, aren't they? All right, so then you've got, in the basic plan, layer 3, you've got the hands of the bunny down here, and so they do have also the feet etched in so that you can line up the hands properly. I'll show you how to do this in a minute. We've got the carrot, and we've got whiskers with a little bit of layering to go there, and we've got an option, one of the options for the egg, and a little bow there. So let's have a look at that on my sign. And then I want to use the basket. Now, I thought I'd use some transfers. We'll have a go with layering some transfers on this, or we can do some eggs. I had so many different ideas, and now I can't remember which one I decided on. But I will, because I found that I didn't have any signboards large enough to do this project today. So I will be doing it on the black cardstock, which makes a gorgeous poster. So I'll be using the cardstock that comes with your stencil set, or you can just buy some cardstock, cut it up to the same size and use it like that. Then you can just pin it on the wall, blue tack it to your walls, and have a poster for Easter that you can just put away for the next year. So if you don't have a signboard, there's a good option. So I'll be doing this. Now, you want to make sure that you're not stenciling this inside the baskets, because the bow is meant to go on top, and so you don't stencil that while you're stenciling the basket. And the sign can go up on top too, the wording. And then the add-on has a bonus layer 2. I think it's the first time Essential Stencils had a bonus extra layer in the add-on, so that's exciting. And it's this goes on top of the basket. So I can't wait to see how that all works out today. Let's get started. Otherwise, we'll run out of time. And then if I get time, I want to do a little Irish sign from our brand new 2024 collection from the main Essential Stencils site. All right, I'll start with our little bunny. Let's just point you down here so we can get started on our project. And I've got my board that's pre-painted from an upcycled sign. Karen says, you can't wait to get yours. I know, they are so cute. So if you know anyone who may have skipped or may have, unsubscribed to the Essential Stencil of the Month Club, or you know someone who would love to join, please let them know about our stencils set coming up for January. Get them excited by sharing this live to them. You can message it to someone, or you can even share the link with someone in a message, any of the options. All right, so as I said before, you can see the bunny is off-centered, so don't just think I'm going to center the whole stencil. You'll have to center the actual bunny, and that's because Essential Stencil needed to add these titles to go. This is layer 1, you can see it etched in there. All right, so we're going to do our rabbit. I've painted white for the background. Oh, you know what, I did also think of a fun idea with our transfers. That's what I was going to do. There are so many different transfers that you can use for Easter. Now this one is the spring peonies. Peonies? How do you say it? Spring peonies. There's some gorgeous ones there. So this one, I thought I'd cut these off from down the bottom. I thought this one might work, but it could be a little too big. So I'm going to try a couple of these on this bunny set. There's the hydrangea flower transfers. Now I've cut mine up and put them in a little packet, but these are all beautiful transfers for Easter. There's also, which I've also cut out a few of, the spring bunny transfers, and these would look great with any of the Stencil of the Month Club set as well. We've got cute little eggs there, we've got bunnies in baskets, so they would look great with some of the actual sayings that we have going on here. Some bunny loves you, and you could add those to some of these transfers. So there's that. There's also the spring flowers and butterflies collection. Now each of the transfers come in a set of 2 sheets, so there's lots of different options there. And also I think this would be so cute for Easter too, is our silky chickens. The silky chickens, we've got some eggs in a basket up here, so they are always cute, the little tiny chickens here for Easter themed signs. So I will probably work with this peony set, and I thought I could add the bunny and maybe add something down here. Could even have the bunny holding this peony in his hands. So I'll see how that works, because it may just clutter his face up a bit too much. I thought this one's a little large, and I don't know whether then we put the bunny behind and then this on front, but then they'd cover up his feet, her, I don't know. And then this one is an option also of just adding those to the sides like this, and then we have our bunny in the middle. So we could do that. So we might add those after. We'll see how our bunny works out, but we'll shift him to the top here. So I'm kind of making sure the rabbit is in the center. You could measure it with a measuring tape if you like. There are those of you who are measurers, and there's some of us who are just like, let's just wing it and eyeball it. Is that what we call it? We all eyeball it. How many of you are eyeballers? So I've just painted a white chalk paint on here. I don't know if you can see that on here. I've done a pencil drawing of the rabbit stencil from last week, because I wanted to see how all of the pieces lined up. So if you're unsure on how to do your rabbit, use a piece of paper, just draw the outlines with a pencil, and do it that way. Okay, I'm going to use this colour, Cathedral Taupe. Now, if you do want my Fusion affiliate link, I can pop that in the comments for you. Just ask if you'd like a link to the paint, and they ship it directly from Canada to the USA. I am a retailer for Fusion Mineral Paint in Australia, and so you can actually, if you're in Australia, you can just buy it from my website, and I ship Australia-wide. But most of you are from the USA, so that's where you can grab yours. All right, I'm going to use a larger brush for this one. Our brushes come in 4 different sizes, a set of 4, and this is the large one. Dorothy, you're an eyeballer. Yes, same. Oh, Dorothy, you're fairly new, so you need to get some transfers. I know they are really great transfers from Essential Stencil, and they're very easy to use, and I'll show you that in a minute. Now I'm just adding a little bit of paint onto my brush, and then I'm offloading and working it into the bristles on the cardboard. We do have a fair bit of room. I could add another piece of tape. If you want to, you can add some more down to the bottom. But we've got this great big section in the middle here. Now, I'm doing this taupe colour because last week I did the rabbit pink. Now this is the basic plan, remember? So last week I did the rabbit pink, and then I did the inside of the ears tans, or taupe. So this week I'd like to try doing a tan rabbit and then putting pink on the inside of the ears. So we'll see how that works. Okay. You can use any paints. Now the thing is, I want to be very careful not to get the paint on the outside the feet outline here, because it's sort of a little bit close to the edge, but I think we'll be fine if I'm just being careful along that edge there. And I'm just pouncing and wriggling my brush. Now because my brush is quite dry and I've offloaded most of the paint onto this cardboard over here, it isn't going to bleed underneath the stencil. If I had too much paint on my brush, it would bleed all under and we'd get fuzzy edges and that kind of thing. So you just be really careful with these thin lines, like that thin line is, we call them a bridge, where the rabbit's neck is. It separates the face from the body. So just be really careful around that line and just do a little careful pounce alongside that line, and then you can do your swirling in the larger parts. So that, I feel like, is pretty good coverage for our rabbit. If I want to use this again, I'm going to put it either in a plastic bag or in a damp cloth, just in case I want to use it for some other purpose. And then we'll carefully remove our tape, and we've got our cute bunny sitting there. This is Cathedral Taupe. Hi Terry, you're new here. That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Just going to pop that off to the side. Now our second layer. Now we're doing the basic plan. So that comes with three stencil sheets. But remember, the basic plan is a lot smaller than the premium plan. So this is the size of the premium plan. You get 3 large sheets with all sorts of different designs, but it's just elements from that design are now here on the rabbit. So our second layer, so it says layer 2 on the little etching in there. Not sure if you can see that. I just want to hit that quickly with the hairdryer, make sure that's going to be completely dry. Oh, thank you, Karen. So I'm good at explaining. I know that we often have a lot of newbies on our lives, and so we always want to make sure that we're explaining really carefully everything that we're doing. And I really want to thank our regulars for joining us here on our lives, because you guys are such a great help as well, because you know by now all the things that all the advice and the tips that we give our new viewers. So you're a great help when it comes to the comments and being helpful and letting them know our tips. Okay, so here is layer 2, and we have also on the outside, you can see the etching of the outline of the rabbit. So what I'm going to do is line that outline up with our rabbit here. And when we line the outline up, we can see, I'm just going to grab my 2 little pieces of tape again, tape that here. You can see that it lines up all of the other areas perfectly. So I may want to do a couple of different colours here. I'm thinking I might like to do the nose and the eyelashes in a different colour and these in pink. So I'll probably do these black or similar. So let's have a look for our... I always find a brush that I've used previously that has a pink tinge to it, or a red tinge for our pink. And I'm going to use the colour Rose Water, which is a fusion mineral paint colour as well. Dominica says, Merry Christmas, Essential Stencil family. I feel like that's just all of you. It's all of us, it's all of you. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're all family. It feels like a fun crafting family here. Okay, again, I'm just using this part that's come into the lid here and offloading that onto the piece of cardboard. I just use recycled postage packaging. So I just literally cut up my postage that the stencils come in. And I'm going to do the cheeks and the feet. Add a little bit more onto the brush. So I just add the tiniest little bit, and then I offload it onto here and swirl it in, making sure it's not too, it's pretty dry, but you've still got enough on to work into the stencil. Maybe a touch more. The colour again for the pink is rose water. They do have a couple of different pinks. They've got a peony, which is a lighter pink, and then this rose water. Oh, I feel like there's another one too, and I can't remember the name of it. Okay, so that's the pink, and now while I've still got that layer on, I want to get my black and another tiny brush. I'll add this one to the plastic so that it doesn't dry out. I'll grab my black, which is almost running out. Oops. Like if I was painting furniture, I would probably ditched this pot. It's just right down in the bottom there. Because there's still plenty of paint to stencil with, I'm going to just keep it and use it for stencils. So I'm just dipping it right down at the bottom, and I've got a big blob right there. But I can either wipe that on the side of the jar, or I'll just wipe it on here because I may need to use that in a little bit. So then I'm offloading, you can see that I'm offloading that onto the cardboard. And I do want to probably tape those areas. I'll just use this. Where the cheeks are, so I'm just hitting the actual because the eyelashes come close to those cheeks. So I'm making sure that they're covered up, and then I can go on here with the black for the nose. And the eyelashes. Oh, my black brushes, my black paint might be drying out a little. So there we go with that. Let's see. Oh, that is very cute. So there we can see we've got the cheeks. They're barely showing, but that's okay. If you wanted to, you could go over with a brighter pink or, a different colour altogether. Totally up to you. All right, let's go for our next layer. Now, I was going to, so we've got our second layer. Layer 2 is here. Just take off my little layer 2, set that aside. And layer 3, where's layer 3 actually? Layer 2, layer 3. Okay, layer 3 is written up here and layer 4 is written here. So layer 4 is the paw prints, layer 3 are the whiskers. And so those whiskers I can use, you just pop them right in the middle of the cheeks there, and they will come out to the side there. And I will use the exact same black brush to do those little cheeks. This time I'll just hold it down, I won't tape down. And so we're just going to pounce on those, wriggle the brush a little. So we are changing up, Essential Stencils changing up our giveaway. If you missed the beginning of the live, or maybe you've missed Melissa's live yesterday where she announced it, instead of giving away stencils, they're giving away $20 gift cards. So we'll give away to 3 lucky winners at the end of our live. $20 gift cards to Essential Stencils website. So that means you can get the stencils of your choice, transfers of your choice, or brushes, or whatever they stock in there. There we go. Just blowing away some of the little flecks that come off the brush, the paint. Isn't that adorable? So this is the basic plan. It's our smaller one. Now we could, before we put the hands on, so the hands are layer 4. Before we put the hands on, which would go right here, we want to put whatever it's going to be holding. So that could be an egg, and then we'd put the egg there and the dots on top. We could add a bow here and then put our hands on top. We could add the carrot, and then we could do that. So I wanted to see if the rabbit could hold a flower from one of our transfer sets. Brenda, of course they are. Yes, Essential Stencil is just awesome all the way around. They are doing amazing with these layered sets. I love them. So I showed you before, I'm using some peonies. They're spring peonies. And I wanted to see if the rabbit could hold this one without it covering up the cheeks on the face. Okay, so it may go down a bit low. We could just make it go down low, right? And then let me have a look. When I line up my feet here, yeah, I would just have to have the hands, so I'd have to have a little bit this way. We might have to move it down that way. So maybe it comes just under the mouth, so the rabbit is smelling the flower. So then when I line it up, I want to make sure that my hands can come around a little bit so they're holding the flower. And now this part here, I may want to just cut that off because then I'm going to add my flowers here. It may cover them up, but I think that I'll cut that stem off. So what I will do is I'll just make a mark right here, fold that over to where I'm going to actually cut that stem off, and that's where my rabbit will be holding the flower, so we don't need that little part there. So I did say we'll put that in first. Now let's see, just lining that up again. Oh, I want to see where it's going to go. Let me just pop this lid back on my black paint. Forgot about that. And line up the feet to where the hands come around. Okay, so that's a good position right there. So what I want is, you can use any store card, or you can use one of these transfer tools from Essential Stencil. So let's have a look. You can add. I'm going to try and, let's see if I do it this way. I wonder if I can take that out without it. I'll just have to hold it and estimate. Here we are, smelling the flower. Isn't that the most gorgeous little thing? So you can see that the flowers are a little bit translucent. You can sort of see through them, but not too much. It just looks like it all blends seamlessly in. So we're just rubbing, we've removed the backing, and now we're rubbing the plastic, and as we rub, we peel back the transfer, making sure you can dip that down a little bit more so you can see. Now we're going to lift that plastic up and make sure that none of the transfer is coming up with the plastic. If it does start to come up with the plastic, we just lay it back down and rub it some more. Oh, and this one's just going to be stubborn. Was my paint dry? That's the question. Oh, every now and then I get one that transfer that's a little bit stubborn. That doesn't make me very happy. And this, it seems like it's going to be one of those. Let me go from this way and see if we can do any better. It usually adheres really well to the fusion paint or any kind of water-based paint, but again, it probably does have to be a little bit more. The paint needs to be completely dry. I'm going to hit this with my hairdryer. Don't know if this is going to work, but excuse me. Not sure if that's being helpful. Gosh, this is being really stubborn. Maybe my chalk paint finish was a little bit more. Well, guys, every now and then you'll get one that does not want to work. Oh, it's coming off better this way. Okay. Because I've got brush strokes on my chalk paint here, maybe it's just a bit of a rough, the surface is too rough. Well, it's going to make a fool out of me today. Has anyone else had a little problem with their transfers? Or if you do have any sort of grease or product on your thing, that can be a problem too, but I don't. being a little bit temperamental. We're getting there, but oh, it does. I think. Let me have a look. It's peeling my paint off. That's what's happening. So there must be something on this layer underneath my rabbit layer that's actually pulling the paint off when I try to peel the transfer off. So that's the drama. I don't think it's the transfer itself. It's actually pulling my rabbit off. I do remember this happened to Melissa once. Like, this is what was it, her Santa Claus or something? Oh my goodness. Okay, I've not had this happen before, but I'm telling you, there must be something on that layer underneath that's pulling the paint up. Because I can see that the transfer is coming up, but it's bringing up that tan colour paint with it, and the tan is separating from the chalk paint. That is weird. Okay, we're going to have to do without those, the bottom section, because I'm not going to deal with that anymore. Okay, I'll show you what happened. So see that it peeled the paint right off, and I think that there's something in between the white paint, which I painted earlier, and the brown paint to just cause that to resist and lift off, because that paint should be completely adhering to that chalk paint. Never had that happen before in my life, and I hope for a better experience for you, because honestly, they're fantastic. I love it. I love these transfers. They do really well. So let's have a look and see if I can actually get this to go over the other side. No, that one's too big. It's the smaller ones that I was going to go. We could cover it up with these, you know. Let's have a look. We'll see. If this starts to just really mess up, then I'm going to have to just ditch and go to my next project, but you will get the idea. We could go and cover that right up there, or I could just have to fix it. Just have to fix it somehow, because my frame is going to come across here. Let's have a look. Every now and then something will go wrong on a live, and I know you guys are so understanding. That's my washing machine making dings. Something's going on. Well, this one's coming off a whole lot better. See, this is how it's supposed to work. I think there's something wrong with it. It's uneven load in the washing machine making those noises. Now this one is coming off a lot easier. All right, so you can see the idea here is to add the peonies around, and I'll add the other one later onto this other side, but then the rabbit is holding this flower, and so we want to do that third. Now this is the fourth layer of the rabbit, and it's going to be holding this flower here. So we want to line up the etching with the feet right there, and then our hands are going to come across here. So I'm just going to tape that down on the sides and on here, and we'll go over with that rabbit fur colour in this cathedral taupe again. This was the one. Offload that onto our cardboard, and away we go. And that will then, it covers a part of the flower, but that's the idea. So he's got his hands covering over the flower. There we go. So you can add you know, all sorts of things to your sign. I will add some more flowers, but I'll do that later because you get the idea. But here it is, the hands covering over the flowers and holding it and smelling it. So that's kind of a fun idea that you could incorporate into your either the larger rabbit if you're getting the premium set, or the smaller one in this basic plan that I've used here. All right, we'll set those aside. Showed you all the transfers. If you missed some of the beginning of the live, you can you can watch on the replay and catch some of that stuff that I did at the beginning. Now, I wanted to have a look at this add-on, because if you do get the premium plan, you have the option of the add-on, and you get this gorgeous basket, which I'm going to show you now. So this is the add-on. That's, oops, it's upside down. It's optional. And you get this bonus of the pattern, what do you call that? Cane. It makes it look like a cane basket. So I'm actually going to do it on this cardstock here, because I don't have a sign big enough today to do that. Don't forget to use my code IRESTORESTUFF at stencilofthemonthclub.com so that you can get your I might just use this same colour, so that you get your savings. So off the basic plan you get a free month, and off the premium plan you get 50% off the first month. So all of the other info and the frequently asked questions all on stencilofthemonthclub.com. All right, I'm going to use that same cathedral taupe colour to do the basket, as if it's like a cane basket type thing. Where did I just put my cardboard? Here it is. So this is a large section here. I could even just go with doing a whole bunch of paint right in the centre there. But I will just show you. Now, I don't want to be stenciling any of this. So if you need a reminder while you're stenciling, because sometimes I forget, just put a little bit of tape here just to remind you you don't want to be stenciling on those words. We're just going to do the outline of the basket. I should have shifted it down a little so I can put my bow on top, but that's okay. We've started now. Whoops, I didn't even offload that, I don't think. So minimal on your brush. I'm just going to do this outline here, bringing the paint up the sides of the basket handle. And this is a fun one that you could also combine with the transfers, because there's so many gorgeous flower transfers. You could fill it with flowers, you could fill it with some of the little bunny transfers and add the rabbits and the eggs in the basket. Lots of ways you could use this. So yeah, if you don't usually get the add-on, I think there's going to be a lot of people wanting this one for the January set. So I did announce in the beginning that Essential Stencil has extended their Stencil of the Month Club open time to Friday. So that's the end of this week. You've got to join. Now I'm going to go around the edges here, just with this swirling method. I'm just literally doing this on some black cardstock. So you can do it on wood signs, you could do it on maybe, I don't know, maybe you do like Easter bags, and you could, you know, like a Santa bag, a sack. Maybe you do like an Easter sack. I don't know, is that a thing? I have no idea. Maybe I've just invented something. And you could do this on the front, fill it with Easter eggs or whatever you do for Easter. Okay, now filling this inside part, and I want to still fill it with the swirly method that I've been using. And it doesn't matter to me anyway, maybe you do like a lovely solid coverage, but I do kind of like the way that things look a little bit vintage if we do, you know, a little bit patchy sort of in areas and not so well finished. So you can see the patchiness on that. You could do a second coat, or do like me, and we're going to leave that. Look at that, I like it. Nice and neat edges because we offloaded our brush onto the cardboard. All right, so I want to go over this with a contrasting colour, and I didn't think about that, so I'm just going to use my white. I could go with, you could do a white basket and then do that taupe colour for your contrasting colour. So again, we do have a little etched line, and it says layer 2 on here, so you know which order to put it in. You do the basket first, and then the layer, and there's a little etched line around the edge to line it up onto the basket. Now let us make sure that I have dried this off properly. So I will pop this brush in the bag. Hi Michelle, joining late, that's okay. You can catch anything on the replay. Oh yes, you could do chocolate, someone suggested, I think. The blotchy taupe will look great with the weave. Yep, I think so too. Yes, Barbie's asking. So if you are a member, you go to your Stencils a Month Club account, or you can email subscriptions@essentialstencil.com and make sure you've got the add-on added to your plan for January. And they will definitely get that for you. Dorothy, you didn't order the extra basket stencil? I would email subscriptions@essentialstencil and see if they can do something about that for you. Just mention to them and they will let you know what it is in addition. All right, so those little etch lines, I'm doing them up here. Marty, are you there? Can someone let the dog out? Sorry, just had to call out because she's might need to go out. She's knocking on the outside door. We don't have a doggy door for her yet. Okay, I'm going to use this 5/8 inch brush just to add this layer on here. You can tape it down if you like, because this is a cardstock. I probably won't tape it because it may just tear up the cardboard when I take the tape off. I'm not sure how that'll work out. So here I have got my cardboard to offload my white, and at the same time as offloading, I'm just kind of working it into the end of the bristles there. And I want to hold my hand down really tight on here. Let's see how this works out. I might even have a sneak peek while I'm got this far, just to have a look, see if that's contrasty enough, because it's white over to, oh yes, plenty. It's looking great so far, folks, so let's keep going. Thank you for all the Merry Christmas wishes. Joyce-Ann, who let the dog out? Marty was very kind to do that for her. And again, I don't mind if it's sort of rustic looking and we do like a half-hearted brushing over here, but yeah, because it probably will suit the look of the rustic look of the underneath coat. So I'll just see. I can always go over it with more if I think it needs more of a solid coverage, but I'm just kind of haphazardly. But again, the key is not to have too much on your brush, because that will cause bleed under. Look how that's going. I think it's looking great. So yeah, you could imagine all the different colours. What colour would you use? What two colours would you use to contrast on your basket? It could even be, it doesn't have to look cane-like. It could look like a painted cane basket, and therefore it could be literally any two colours. So you could have a pink basket, and then you could possibly just have two shades of pink to show that, you know, cane look of that cane coming through. So there's lots of different options, isn't there? And then for the inside of our basket, I don't think I've said what I'm going to do yet. Probably because I hadn't decided, but I think I've decided what I'm going to do. So with the basket, you could, I'm not going to do that, but you could add transfers on the inside of here, your eggs, your bunnies, your flowers. But I'm going to use something from the Premium Plan set. The Stencil of the Month Club set is what we're working on, and it's for January, if you missed that info at the beginning. So get in now, join the club, and you'll receive this mid to late January, I believe. Then there'll be plenty of time for all your Easter projects, for those of you making for markets and things like that, or even to gift. Sometimes it's good to just have things ahead of time so you can work in your schedule and plan your markets and so on. I think I got it all. If I don't, I can put it back down. So let's have a little look. Yes. All right, love the way that turned out. How about you? So that's it so far. I'll bring that up so you can see that pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? So that is a two-part on the add-on. So that's not in your Stencil of the Month plan regularly. You have to tick the box or add the add-on to your stencil subscription. All right, so I've got the white there. I could do my bow white at the top. So this is where we can add these bits from in the beginning. You might want to put everybody welcome here, but I'm going to fill that with something in a minute. I'm going to add the bow though. Should we do a nice coloured bow? Maybe a pink one. Pink for Easter, or we could do blue. I've got red out here. Since I've got a pink brush already, I might just do that. This rose watercolour. Lid on here. Adding some more on the brush. And the bow is quite wide. I mean, it's quite large space, but I'm still going to use this smaller brush only because I had already got pink on the brush. So we'll just add that straight to the top of the basket. And then the words, you could add them on the inside here if you're not going to put things in the basket, or you could add them to the top of your sign if you had some more space, like a larger sign. I can imagine that this would look great also on a porch leaner, using some of those elements, adding rabbits down the porch leaner. You could add some of the sayings that come with that premium plan. So many different ideas. Oh, I feel like we needed a brighter pink, but that's okay. Yes, Bobby is asking about the basket. Yes, that is from the Stencil of the Month Club January set, and it's the add-on. So you have to actually hit the add-on. I mean, let them know that you want the add-on if you're already a club member. And you can do that either in your Stencil of the Month Club account when you sign in. You can make sure you've got the add-on clicked on there, or email them to let them know that you want that. It's definitely worth it. I am finding and thinking up so many different lovely inspirational ideas to use it on, even while I'm just here doing this now. So right, just went over a little subtle second coat there. It did dry quite quickly, so I was able to do that. Otherwise, let it dry completely and then go over your second coat. Okay, let's have a look. Gorgeous pink bow right there on the top. So see how you can add your bow to the top. You probably can't tell, the light's kind of shining on the stencil there to show that that's a pink. Maybe you could go with a brighter pink. Okay, so for our next thing, look, that sort of still fits up there even if I added some things here. So I may even add that at the end. But I wanted to use the premium set here, which we went over at the beginning, so go back and check that out. I want to use this second page here to add some eggs into the basket. Whoops, I took the whole thing away. Where are we? Here we are. So I want to add some eggs into the basket. So this is layer 3 where you've got the egg sitting on top of the bunny, but we are going to add some eggs to the basket. So let's see what we've got already. Now if you just want to see them poking out of the basket, I'm going to start in the center and then move around and maybe add some at the top. You can just mask them off, tape them off. I haven't tried this yet, so we're just going to see how this goes. So I want to probably mask off around about that much so that it doesn't get on the basket. and we'll have that egg poking through. And if I'm really careful, I can just make it taped to the stencil and not have it taped at all to the actual paint. And then we'll start with a pink one, shall we? Since we've got that pink brush here, we can just do a pink egg. Now I've got a lot on my brush. Let's just get a bit off and come in from the edges to the inside if you have a fair amount on your brush, which is what I'm doing. And you could do a second coat there, but we do have all of these pretty designs that we can add to the eggs as well. Okay, let's do, oh, that did actually tape on there. So there we've got one egg. We've got one egg in our basket. Then you can go over with a second egg. I might actually do another pink one over here while we've got the pink on the brush, but literally you could just do as many or as little eggs as you like. We've got our offloading cardstock over here. Again, just taping off that part where the basket is. And I'm just going sort of a little speedy today just so I can get this all done in time. And we'll do another one on this side. For sake of time, I'm not changing up colours too much. And again here. Dip it in, offload onto the cardboard, then come in from the sides. There we go. There's 3 eggs. Now I can go on with a different colour. Now, if you were not doing this live and you're doing this in real time, I would wash the stencil, but that's going to all take time. And when you do a different colour, okay? So if you're washing out the stencil, do that now. Make sure it's completely dry. I think we might go on with a bright yellow egg. Different brush. Let's just choose this one. And here we go again with our cardboard to offload that. So it may get some pink on the brush because I haven't cleaned my stencil and I've literally still got the tape there, but we're just going to see how we go here. Hopefully there's not too much paint comes off because it's probably dried already. Coming in from there, and those eggs kind of, the ones that you put on last obviously are going to sit in front of those other eggs in the basket. And then you could do this same thing by adding eggs, you know, on top of eggs. You could add just an egg shape just in the back there to make it go behind even more. But we will probably run out of time before we do that. So I'm just limiting my colours here to just the pink and yellow eggs today. And then we're going to do a couple of fun patterns on top. If you do have any questions about stenciling or about any of the products we're using today, please just leave your questions in the comments because we love to just go through and answer those for you after our live. Hi Maggie. Hi Wanda. Yes, Vic says it's nice to see some pastel colours instead of red and green all the time. I know, because we've been focusing on Christmas for a long time and now we've just sort of got to get ready in the crafting world anyway for the next season, which will be here before we know it. Okay, so that looks adorable. I love it. Next we're going to go on with some contrasting colours, and we should have probably done this to the pink ones before we started on the yellow. Okay, so I should have, so learn from me, I should have done the patterns on the pink ones first, and I am just going to tape off the same place that I taped for here, and we'll just use some different patterns and show you how that looks. So I'm going to, for sake of time again, I'm just going to do yellow on the pink and pink on the yellow. So I'm just taping off exactly where that was taped, where the basket is, and we're going to add yellow onto the pink. And this will be, oh, I should have probably left those ones off where the yellow one is. But see, isn't that adorable? Let's have a little look at that close up. You can see the patterns coming on there. Now let's see I might have to I'll do another one over here. Oh, the dog is having a little zoomies. There she goes. Okay, so again, just going to avoid that other one, which is on the yellow egg anyway, so it won't show up, but just doing the pink parts that show on the pink. It's a cute little star pattern there. And then I'm going to go over, I might leave that one blank, but you can just change it to whatever you like. And we'll get the pink brush and now put the pink, that's the one. Put the pink on the yellow. Oh yes, Vic says, bet your pup is getting big now. I haven't seen her since she was your new arrival. I know. If she's good, we might bring her up at the end of the live to show you. Okay, so I'm lining that egg up and just going to move the tape up to where the basket is again, so we can make sure we tape off that part there. So if you missed anything here and you do get to January and you receive your stencils and you think, I want to do what Sharon did on that live that I remember, you can always go and find the replays of our lives in Essential Stencils video section of the Facebook page right here. And I also upload them to my own YouTube channel afterwards as well, so you can always find them there as well at IRESTORESTUFF on YouTube. So any of those, you can just search Stencil of the Month Club January, for example, and it'll come up. All right, this is our last egg that I'm going to show you, because you get the idea. Oops, way too much on my brush. Make sure I offload all of that. And we've got the stripes going down the yellow. Making sure that it's all covered over. So there, isn't that gorgeous? I love the baskets in the egg. And again, I do have room right up here for some kind of little saying. So I could either stick a little rabbit's head popping up there. You could do that with either your transfer rabbit stencil, rabbit transfers, or you could do that with the the small little bunny that we did earlier. And I won't have time for my little Irish saying that I was going to do. I'll have to save that for next time. So you could pop that little bunny outside the basket. See how cute that is? That would look cute right here. Or you could just add one of the sayings from the basket itself. This is the add-on. Or let's see, I'm not sure if any of these would fit. Maybe Easter blessings would fit. I think we'll do that. Hey, just to finish us off today, let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to do Easter blessings, but I'm not going to add the egg because it'll fit just perfectly like so. I'll just make sure that's taped here so it's not going to get on there. All right, oop. Making sure it's centered right here. And this is from the premium set, so these words don't come on the basic plan, they're on the premium plan. And you've got 3 different sayings here, so they're great addition. And I'm just going to do that with that pink colour that I have here, rose water, which I've used earlier. Okay, offloading that onto the cardboard and swirling around the letters. And remember, I can do this swirling method because I've offloaded most of that paint onto the cardboard. Therefore, it's not going to, hopefully, I feel like I did have a little bit too much on my brush. Hopefully it's not going to bleed under the stencil and cause those fuzzy edges. Oh look, that whole brush load has nearly done all of the words. In fact, I think I'll just go with what's there. Almost. It's looking like pretty solid coverage. Okay. And we are done, folks. So stay tuned because we are going to pick some prize winners. And as we said, we've changed up, Essential Stencil has changed up the giveaways, and instead of giving out random stencils, we're giving out the three lucky winners, $20 gift vouchers to the Essential Stencil website. So let me just drop this down here, hold this up, and get ready to pick some winners. Here is what we've worked on today, and as you can see, that the basket part is the add-on to the Stencil of the Month Club. So I hope that you'll use my code IRESTORESTUFF, tell a friend, use that, and they'll get a free basic plan month or 50% off the month in the premium plan. But the premium plan is the only one that you can use to get the add-on, so make sure you do that. And don't forget to add your transfers. Now I'll add another one there. I'll have to fix my little bunny. If you missed that part of the live today, we had a little mishap with the paint separating off the board between the layers of paint. So let me see what we've got here. See if I can see. I'm not seeing a pinned comment, probably because if you see any winners, let me know. Essential Stencil was picking some winners today. Let's do it. Well, hang on, guys. Hold everything. Oh, there we go. I can see the, yes, and just a reminder too that the club has extended till Friday. So you've got till Friday, and hopefully our other ambassadors will be able to show you tomorrow and the next day some of those. Did someone say put kangaroos in the basket instead? That's a fun idea. Yeah, ambassadors are going to be picking winners. Or if I don't pick one now, let me see, because I haven't been, I thought that they were picking winners for us. So I'm just looking for their winners. But from next week on, I believe that the ambassadors will be picking some winners this week. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm picking winners. I'm going to pick some winners, and if you are a winner, let me just grab my pen because I'll have to remember who they are, or I could just say them. Let me just scroll. I'm going to scroll, guys, and pick some winners, because if that's what I'm doing, I'm going to be doing it now. I'm just randomly going to scroll through comments. All right, Chris Geisler. Chris Geisler, you're a winner today. If they've got extra winners, then we'll just have to have extra winners. Jacqueline Mayhorn Harrison, you're a winner today. And I'm going to pick one more as I scroll back through the comments from today. Shelley C. Shaw. Shelley, is it C-H-E-L-E? Shelley C. Shaw, you are a winner today. So those winners, we'll have to tag you in just a minute because I've got to figure out how to do that. But let me know. You will send out a $20 gift voucher from watching our live today. So thank you so much for watching. Now, guys, I'm not going to be here next week because I'll be on holidays with my family. And so I will see you in the following week. Oh, we had to have a feature from Olive. It's a Christmas dog. Here's our Christmas dog. Oh, and she's lost her hat. Oh, she wants to eat her hat. Okay. There you go. Happy Christmas, everybody, from Olive and all of us at Essential Stencil. You can follow me at IRESTORESTUFF on all of your socials. There you go. So look how big she's gotten. Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye.